senior, Junior Garbra, Donnell Stafford, and Brendan LaRose.
Hugh Mays, for those of you, LaRose, Stafford, Cotton, Boatwright, all pretty familiar faces for Skyhawk fans. The opening tip controlled by Northern New Mexico. Number 10, Hugh Mays, the new point guard transferred in. He is really something special. You see him out there defending the ball right now. Skyhawks, you're going to really like seeing that young man play. Damian Thomas, the senior forward from DeSoto, Texas, handles out away from the rim. Draws Boatwright out there.
Travel there.
Traveling violation on Guillaume Garcia, the freshman guard out of Barcelona, Spain.
And that was created because Stafford doubled down, so made a move around Cott, but because of the double team, he traveled on that. That's the first turnover for Northern New Mexico.
Boatwright with it down low, goes to work. Right hand hook's good. Drains that over top of Thomas. LeBeau on the board early.
That's going to be a tough thing to stop. Thomas, a senior, 6'10", from DeSoto, Texas, going against Boatwright.
They get it back to Thomas. Nice pass from Pemberton. Great defense from LaRose late to alter the shot of Thomas. The miss sends it back the Skyhawks' way. There's Cott into the lane. Boy, talk about smooth. Finger roll doesn't fall, though. Rebound cleared by Connor Kelly, the sophomore. Kicks it over to Garcia. Into the lane. Drop it down low. Thomas misses the dunk. He tried to reverse it up and in. You know what? If you got to dribble all the way around Brendan Boatwright, though, it's going to take you a while and make it a little tough to finish, I think.
Literally like driving around a boat.
Yep. Big boy Brendan LaRose. His first three of the game is good. His dad came up and talked to me at halftime of that last game and said if he hits his first three, look out.
Really?
And Brendan LaRose does it. 5-0 lead for Fort Lewis. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back right after this. We might go ahead and we'll take our next timeout. We'll take a timeout. Aren't quite ready for that one. Rick, this is what we expected to see or hoped to see from the Skyhawks to start, though. Good defense from Stafford, one of the guys who we said would have to show up defensively. And you get a big bucket from Boat down low, and
then another
a three
one,
from LaRose.
the two bigs are the ones that scored first two buckets, and having a guy who like Brandon LaRose, who's 6'9", or Brendan Boatwright that can shoot threes and play good defense, that's something special. And both of those players have proven over the years. We've been privileged enough to cover them over the years, and they're both pretty special guys.
Yeah, good kids. There's a big rebound from Boat. Yeah, Boatwright hit a game-winning three against Eastern New Mexico in the season opener last week at the Lone Star Armac Showdown. Caught with it up high for the Skyhawks. To LaRose, hands back to Mays. Point guard transferred in out of Missouri Western. He's out of Fort Smith, Arkansas. Coach Ty Danielson had a line on this young man for a while out of Missouri Western.
Foul on number 53, Connor Kelly, and he's their leading scorer. Set a pregame, 16 points a game almost. So get him into foul trouble early, and that's gonna hurt Northern New Mexico quite a bit.
A little shake and bake from Cott. Dribbles off a screen from LaRose. They get it back to Brendan quickly. They close out on him. LaRose has already hit 1-3. Boatwright leans in down low. That's just pure strength, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about that. That he willed that thing in, and with his size, there's just nobody that can really match up against him pound for pound.
Man among boys territory down there. Married man among boys.
Really?
Brendan got hitched over the summer, and at least from what we see so far, married life's agreeing with him.
That's a tough shot by number 0, DeAndre Pemberton.
Plus defense from LaRose. Caught with a three. Buries it over top of Kelly. Coach Jesus Aragon quickly looks down his bench, going to send Jamal Harris, the senior guard, in to see if he can help slow the Skyhawks down. Going to have a whistle and a foul against Mays here on the dribble drive from Satterfield, the junior out of Chicago.
We're going to have Junior Garbra come in for Fort Lewis, see who he subs for.
You know, we've seen Junior. He got a lot of playing time. Boy, he really hit that big three-quarter court shot his freshman year. You remember the first game we ever saw him, we thought, oh, man. And Junior has had sort of an uneven path that he's followed here at Fort Lewis, but really came on, I thought, at the end of his sophomore year, and I know they're expecting big things from Junior. You see he's the sixth man for this team as the season starts. Speaking of sixth man, Jamal Harris, the first man off the bench for Northern, gets him on the board.
First man off the bench and their second leading scorer.
LaRose up for a shot there is going to draw the foul.
Yeah, they're going to call that on Northern New Mexico. They're going to call it on the floor underneath the basket. Northern New Mexico finally able to break that seal. There's a three.
Stafford to Garbra Jr. with a three.
Well, we talked that they can light it up from three. They can do a great job at the free throw line. Their field goal percentage is good. What they really lacked was their defensive effort at times, and it looks like that intensity is there this game at least.
Skyhawks looking to shoot Northern New Mexico out of the gym. They lead at 13-2, and how many times have we seen that? Brendan Boatwright to the floor after drawing the charge.
Well, I have to be honest with you. The game I watched last weekend, I was a little bit late, and the very first play that I saw was Brendan Boatwright taking a charge. I'm like, there he is. He's back.
There is nobody better. Any level, I don't know that I've ever seen a defensive player do as good a job of drawing a charge in the paint as Brendan Boatwright does. Boat goes off the floor after that. We're going to see another newcomer here, Sekou Dembele, number 21 on the floor. He's got the ball down low. He tries to kick it out there. It's going to be stolen away by Harris. Here comes Northern New Mexico on the run, trailing by 11. Harris rises and fires 17-footers off the mark, and Dembele away with the rebound for the Skyhawks. Stafford wants three. That one's too strong. Long off the back iron. Reined in by tip. Kelly. Boy, long outlet pass to Thomas. Knocked away by the Skyhawks. Cott ends up with it. Gets it to Garbra in the corner. These two came in together as freshmen.
There it is.
Junior. His defender leaves him. Garbra gets an open three. Misses. Long rebound. Tracked down by Cott. Naquel's not going to miss. Boy, he was guarded not only by number 23, Jafari, but a few of the people coming in late for the game got into the act defensively, and Cott still knocked it down.
Yeah, a true sixth man.
And I think there are fans.
It's going to be a good matchup if you watch Cott on their player number 3, Jamal Harris. That's a good matchup. Both players very quick, fast on the court. We'll see how that matchup goes.
Not a good shot from Kelly there as he really had to force it. Skyhawks the other way. Nice job by Cott to get it to Garbra as he's falling down. Dembele loses the handle. It's a loose ball. And Trost going to be called for the foul. Trevor Trost, the 6'7" forward out of Western Wyoming College from Woods Cross, Utah. He picks up his first personal. All Skyhawks here.
Diving after balls, double teams, and traps, and that's really what you need to see from this team this year in order for them to be successful. They've got tons of talent.
Well, let's face it, defense, pride and effort.
Yep, absolutely.
Pride and effort. When you see guys diving around, that tells you you're getting both from them, right? 16-2. Now the key is maintain this over the course of the game. Don't have a letdown. We knew Fort Lewis was going to be the better team coming into this, but Northern New Mexico, and this is still true, with some offensive firepower.
Absolutely.
If you go to sleep on them defensively, all of a sudden this is a 6 or an 8-point game, and then you're putting a lot of energy forth, and you've got a big matchup coming tomorrow. Skyhawks have put themselves in a good position to control this one. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Well, they come in, they're shooting 41% from the field, 41% from three, and 76% from the line. So offensively, they got some guns, and that's going to be a foul. Cott took one in the beak by Connor Kelly. If that was me, my nose would have splattered all over my face.
It was a good shot, but
Going to call a foul on the floor.
it's going to be on Trost, actually. The foul's going to be on Trost to Fort Lewis.
Trevor Trost, 6'7", 235.
As he inbounds to Harris, who came in and hit the first bucket for Northern New Mexico. They haven't had one since. Jafari. Guy, I say that, and I'm going to think of the bad guy from Aladdin all night. Just no two ways around it. Here's another newcomer, Obi Agbim, into the lane. Boy, they talk about how quick that kid is. Feeds Dembale, and Dembale's first points in Wayland Gymnasium.
Well, Obi, he came in, and they had a sort of get-to-know-the-team thing, and he won the dunk contest. He's a very athletic kid.
Yeah, he is. He is plus athlete, man. He does some really, really impressive stuff. He's one who will leave you scratching your head. Here's Kelly working the dribble, double team, kicks it out to Herrera. Herrera up top for Harris. Short. That one's way short.
Well, he's lucky that not all the students are here yet, because that would have been...
What a crowd, though. Great crowd here tonight.
This is like mid-season crowd.
Well, we started to get this the end of the year last year when the men were in playoff-type games down the stretch. And good to see that crowd come back in here next winter. Garbra gets it to Trost. He likes to shoot the three, thinks about it. Now pull up from the elbow and knock down the 16-footer. Trevor Trost, another. Skyhawks got a couple of bigs who really like to put it up from outside. Jafari down low for Thomas. Thomas working against Trost, puts it on the floor, spins one way, then the other. Left-handed layup's good.
Well, Trost wanted to make sure that he didn't pick up his third foul early in this game. So,
yeah, when you're a big guy who comes off the bench, the big thing you got to be is available, right?
You bet.
And so, yeah, you don't want your third foul 7 minutes into the game. Nice job by Trevor Trost to lay off, and he did make Thomas work for it. It was a heck of a move by Thomas down low to score the bucket.
This is a completely different-looking team from last year. I mean,
the energy's completely different.
Yeah, I mean, we had Riley Ferris, who was just Mr. Automatic, and 3 seconds in the lane, but with Will Whitman, and I mean, it was a completely different team. This team is, I like the personality. Not that I didn't have last year's team. I loved it, but this year's team is completely different.
Different look for sure. Obi on D. Forces the turnover. Mays will bring it up for the Skyhawks. And we haven't seen any of the antics from Q Mays yet, Rick.
No, it's only a matter of time.
He is. I got to see those on display in the scrimmages a couple of weeks ago. He is really something else, too, but a classic point guard. We're not going to see much out of him. The Skyhawks have a big lead. He'll just manage the game for him.
Well, 14 points a game. There's a three. Boom, right there. Huh?
The lefty, Q Mays, I'm going to have to thank him for making me look good. I'm talking him up, and he steps up, hits the three. Then he guards Harris coming the other way. Skyhawks up 23-4 already, Rick. Big early lead. Herrera in the lane, hangs, fires, gets his own rebound, put backs up and good. Again, I'm glad the Skyhawks didn't foul him there.
Yeah, I mean,
Herrera outworked him to get the rebound. Go ahead and give him the points.
Definitely sort of a break. You can't pick up your dribble there. Mm-hmm. 3-point attempt. Boom, there it goes.
Boy, are these Skyhawks. They won't always shoot it this well, Rick, but they are a pretty good shooting team. Up 20 early here.
I don't remember what year it was, but there were a few games a few years back that three-point shooting actually was better than their field goal percentage. Yeah. Unbelievable shooting team, and this one has the makes of that.
Thomas looks down low. That's Tony Counts. That one won't.
That's a nice rebound.
Dembale takes up a lot of room in the paint, and he's pretty active. I like his feet. He's going to be fun to watch this year as well. I'm really liking the newcomers, what I've seen of them so far. Here's Obi. And he's too quick even for the basketball that time. Agbim's first step is quicker than his first dribble. Turnover will give it to Northern New Mexico. We'll go ahead and take time out. Be back right after this.
The mountains, the streams, the people. Why would you be anywhere else? Which begs the question, why would you be anywhere else? Bank of the San Juans. One big happy little bank.
Dad, tomorrow, can we go to the playground?
All right, we're headed to the playground.
Yeah, we're going to the playground.
Have fun.
We're coming.
Welcome back to Wayland Gymnasium. Bob Bonner and Rico Block with you on the Skyhawk Sports Network. The airwaves reaching from the Permian Basin in Texas all the way to Glasgow, Montana tonight, Rick. Daughter Mackenzie's watching us up there.
Yeah.
She says hi.
Hey, Mackenzie.
We are just, I don't know. We're almost world famous.
Almost. Northern New Mexico.
We're regionally famous.
I'll tell you what, you'd be surprised some of the communication I get and where it comes from. I mean, I'm really happy that everybody tunes in and listens to us, and thanks for tolerating us.
That's a great shot. But, yes, thanks for tolerating us, most importantly. Big shot from Thomas right there.
Northern New Mexico, before that timeout, was 3 of 13, now 4 of 14, 28.6%. Fort Lewis comes in 10 of 14, 71%, and 6 of 8 from 3, 75%. And the score reflects that. Neither team with a free throw so far.
Herrera called for the foul there. Yeah, it's quite honestly, it's game's been too fast-paced for anybody to catch up, call enough fouls to put anybody on the free throw line. Skyhawks have not needed second shots. They've knocked down their first more often than not. There's a miss from Mays as I throw the whammy on him. The other way, Harris with it, double teamed. He's going to get fouled. I don't know if it's Mays that got him. Garbra was back defensively as well.
Yep, they're going to give it to
It
Mays.
is going to be Mays, and I think that'll be his second already.
Aquel going to check in. He's
So-
going to be bummed.
Yeah. So, yes, you're going to have to wait till the second half to really start to see the Q Mays era begin here in Fort Lewis. So you're glad you've got the nearly 20-point lead when you lose your point guard with 10 minutes to go in the first half.
Cott and LaRose comes in for Fort Lewis.
Well, and Skyhawks get big now.
You're right.
I mean, now all of a sudden, LaRose comes in for Garbra. Cott comes in for Mays. Not that the Skyhawks have been small at any time in this game, but Fort Lewis has had 2 6'9" kids on the floor at all times in this one already. That's why we're one and done at both ends of the floor. Cott with his first miss of the game. Herrera, the last one to touch, goes out of bounds. LaRose was down there fighting for the rebound and forced the out of bounds on Herrera.
I mean, you're never going to make all your shots, but what you're looking for are good looks at the basket.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Aquel missed that shot, that was a really good look.
The inbounds.
Tough inbounds pass.
Stolen by Herrera. They get it to Harris, lay it up and in, and Obi going to be called for the Ole foul. 3-point play, possibly for Northern New Mexico, as Satterfield and Pemberton check back into the game. Thomas is going to get a break. He walks off as their leading scorer with 4. Harris at the line has 4 as well. Looking to complete the 3-point play. Skyhawks still lead it by 16, but this is that grind portion of the game now, Rick, and Fort Lewis needs to have good possessions offensively. Northern New Mexico, it's obvious how they want to get back into the game is in transition because they can't match up against the bigs of Fort Lewis in the half-court set. So there's some things you can do as the Skyhawks to really kind of maintain control of this. Going to see full-court pressure from Northern as well. Because one of the things you do is you feed big Brendan Boatwright down low. Watch him be automatic. He beats Pemberton easily. Nice feed down there.
Well, Pemberton is 6'6", 188. And Boatwright is, 250.
Look at that finish from Aquel. Caught with the left hand. Nice job by Obi to look down the floor. get it to Cott and let him finish 1-on-2. Skyhawk lead back to 19 now at 32-11. This is Malik Petty handling. Gets it to Herrera. Herrera tries the left hand against Boatwright off the mark. They outlet it to Cott, and he gets it back to Stafford. Donnell will take the air out of the ball and look for a quality possession here for the Skyhawks. Petty out to guard him. Stafford crosses him over. Good pressure from Petty. Donnell able to maintain the dribble. Now picks it up and gets fouled. They'll whistle this against, won't be Petty. It'll actually be Pemberton whistled for the foul as he jumped in on a double team. Garbra going to come back into the game. Boatwright will walk off. Brendan with 6 first half points here. Always nice to be able to keep the big guy fresh, and help him get his legs and players get back into shape. Look at Obi go up to steal that one, but then throws it away. Harris comes up with that outlet to Herrera. They get it back to Petty. That was Ramos who missed the bucket.
Well, what you saw in that play was LaRose hustled down court, try and get his size involved, and they missed the layup, and he ends up keeping the ball alive. Well caught with, there's another example.
But he went over the back that time. LaRose tried to come up with the offensive rebound there. But again, that's what Brendan does. We saw him hit the 3, but, he is a plus defender on the inside or outside. Good rebounder. He's that lunch pail guy.
Yeah.
Just does the hard work. Pemberton for 3 over LaRose, not even close. Herrera, an easy backside rebound, though, as Stafford lost track of him a little bit. Skyhawk lead down to 17. Stafford will bring it up out of backcourt. We got Satterfield guarding him to Cott, swinging around right side. That's Obi. To Garbra, Jr. into the lane. Pull back. Jump shots, no good.
That's a tough shot.
Yep. I don't think he went in there looking to score. There's a strip from Garbra, though, as he turns over Herrera. I think Junior looked to do some dribble penetration and kick out. Didn't have anybody to kick it out to. Cott at the other end is going to draw a foul.
Well, you got to be careful when you get in the lane. When you lose your feet, you lose some options, and that's sort of what happened to Junior Garbra. Boatwright back in for LaRose. It's nice because you can rotate those guys in for each other and keep them fresh, and you're going to need that as the season goes on. Fort Lewis up by 17 with the ball.
Garbra. The inbounds to Stafford. Scotty, they call him. Looks down low for Boatwright. Boy, spins away from one defender. Double teamed, has it stripped, taken away by Satterfield. Quick first move by Boatwright, but unable to get the shot off there. Here's Ramos with it. Now they get it to Satterfield into the lane. He loses the handle.
He was looking for the down pass to the post and just couldn't get it.
Garbra into the lane, off balance. Shot's no good, but Junior going to go to the line here.
First time at the free throw line for Fort Lewis tonight.
Getting a little ragtag. I think we got a media timeout coming, Rick. 7:42 to go here in the first half. Skyhawks lead it 30-13. We'll go ahead and take a break and be back right after this.
We're a state that gets things done in a country that gets things done. So when you're ready to, come see us. We have money. We're a bank. Bank of the San Juans. One big happy little bank.
Huge Black Friday deals for every room in your home. Going on now at Ashley.
Welcome back to Wayland Gymnasium. Bob Bonner, Rico Block with you on the Skyhawk Sports Network. All Fort Lewis in the early going of this one. They lead Northern New Mexico 30-13. Quell Cott with 8 points to lead the way.
Fort Lewis 60% from the field, 54.5% from 3. Northern New Mexico 32% from the field, just 6 of 19. And they have yet to hit a three-point shot. They have gone to the line 3 times, but have only made 1, being out-rebounded by Fort Lewis 14-8. Both teams with 2 offensive rebounds. Largest lead was 26-6 at 12:03, so 13-30 at this point, 17-point difference for the Skyhawk, who actually looked pretty good. It did get a little bit ragged there for the last couple of minutes, like you said, Bob.
And to be expected in a 20-point game, and, Northern New Mexico is pushing some tempo, and that's going to create some mistakes. It can also backfire on Northern New Mexico in a big hurry, and all of a sudden this could be a 30-point game.
Right. Both teams with 7 turnovers, 10 points off the bench for Fort Lewis. Fort Lewis with 3 blocks already. Both free throws are good.
Junior's got 5 points now. The Skyhawk lead back to 19. Is Jamal Harris, the senior guard out of Anderson, Indiana. Controls, gets it to Connor Kelly. He's their leading scorer. Been awful quiet in this one. There's Thomas up top. Boatwright out to guard him. Now give it off to Ramos. Ramos to Harris. Between the legs dribble. They feed it down low. Thomas going to work against Boatwright. Forces him baseline. Reverses it up. Can't get it. Great defense by Boatwright.
That was a good shot, though. I mean, I thought there was no chance he had to go for that basket to go in.
Yeah, and he almost made it.
Yeah.
Boatwright controls the rebound, though, and here comes Garber through the lane. Leans in, lays it up. Can't get it. Boatwright keeps the rebound alive. Ends up in the hands of Kelly. Numbers coming the other way. But now Harris has to peel back as the Skyhawks hustle on defense.
Yeah, I mean, that's the ticket, right? They're going to call Stafford on that foul. He tried to go, you can go over or under the screen. He tried to go over the screen and created that foul. If you go under, there's an opportunity for a possible shot off of the screen. But, that was a tough foul. It was a foul, but it was a hustle. I didn't call a lane violation.
They did. Thomas moved after they gave Kelly the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's a good call.
Boatwright started asking for, I think it surprised the officials so much that it took a couple of seconds for him to make the call. I don't know what. It was almost like Thomas took off for the bench. Is he checking out of the game? Yeah. It is. He was tired enough. He was ready to go now.
Yeah.
He forgot he had to wait for the first free throw. Tony Counts, the junior from Delano, California.
One thing I do like, for the most part, Fort Lewis has handled this pressure really well.
Obi on the drive is going to be fouled by Satterfield.
So Northern New Mexico has been in a full-court press the entire game, and Fort Lewis, with the exception of one time, have handled that really well. The key is not to pick up your dribble,
right?
So you can keep the ball moving and fluid. Once you pick up that dribble, then that double team can dictate the play.
Agbim's first point in Wayland Gymnasium, the first of what's going to be many, I'm sure. Boatwright will get a rest as Sekou Dembele. Sekou Dembele checks in for Fort Lewis, number 21. Second free throw from Agbim is no good. Northern New Mexico the rebound. Here's Ramos to Kelly. And now Harris working against Garber, number 3 on number 3. Harris backs in, spins, fires it over Junior, and banks it up high and in.
Shot.
Their second leading scorer. He comes off the bench.
There it is.
And leads them in scoring here tonight. Obi at the top of the key, fakes the 3. Now he takes the 3, and it's good. Obi Agbim.
Dembele on the foul there. It's going to be his first. I didn't see if they counted.
I didn't see it.
Did they count the basket?
They did.
All right.
Dembele's got 4 now, and the Skyhawks are up 19. Another timeout on the floor. We'll keep this here and sort it out. They do count the 3. And then they call the foul on Dembele after the shot, Rick. So it'll be free throws for Northern New Mexico when we come back.
Fort Lewis up by 21. As in my last partner, math was not your major, I take it.
What did I say? Did I say 19?
19.
Yeah, it wasn't.
You are better than Mark Jastorf. Mark was in front of the foundation and could count in round numbers. And if you're listening, Mark, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
I love you, but he would always leave the
math to you.
Math
well, I
to
think
me.
I'm going to from now on. Nice pickup there.
Biggest lead of the night, by the way, 21 points. Biggest lead prior was 20-6.
At the free throw line, Tony Counts. Looking for his first point, and he gets it. That one counts. Cuts the lead to 20. He'll look to take it into the teens if he can knock this free throw down, and he does. Counts 2 for 2 from the line.
Now we're at 19. Oh, that's a tough play there.
Yeah, Junior took his eye off the ball for a second there. Ended up in the hands of Ramos for an easy lay-in, and the lead's down to 17 now. See, I can count by 2.
That's good.
Stafford with it, guarded by Ramos. Scotty blows by him into the corner. That's for Sean Martinez with it. Gets it to Cott, and Aquel buries a 3 after being quiet for a while.
That's the problem. When you double team, somebody's open, and the one you don't want to be open is Aquel Cott from 3.
I got to say, if you're guarding 22, you should not be helping anybody on defense. You're the one who needs the help. Moving screen.
Tony Counts on that, and that was a good call. Really good call by the officials there.
They called that on number 13, Rick, Malik Petty.
Okay.
I'm not sure that – I think you saw the right guy on the foul. I think the official might have given the wrong number to the bench, so it ends up being Petty's second personal instead of Counts' first. Petty gets a hand on that one, knocks it out of bounds. There's Q Mays back on the floor, number 10 for Fort Lewis. He's playing with a couple of fouls. Q really hadn't gotten a chance to get going yet, although he did knock down a 3 before he went to the bench in foul trouble. Surprised to see him out there. You probably wouldn't see him out there if it wasn't a 20-point lead right now.
Well, yeah, that's a nice drive by Fort Lewis. I'm sure that Coach Petrak was like, I'm going to put you in, but don't you dare pick up that third foul. You do everything in your power not to pick up that third foul with 5 minutes left.
Non-conference game, that probably is Q's job.
Absolutely.
Is to not, because there are going to be times in the RMAC season where we're going to need Q to be on the floor with 2 fouls in the first half.
You betcha.
And I think that's what this one's all about, is Dembele knocks down the free throw. The big man gets his third point of the contest and pushes the lead back over 20. I'm not going to make another mistake. 21, 40-19.
Damian Thomas comes in for Northern New Mexico.
And gets the rebound on the Dembele miss. There's Kelly. Kelly to Thomas. Thomas working against Stafford. Cannell forces him to give it up to Petty on the left side and then goes out and guards Petty. Petty takes him off the dribble, misses. Dembele the rebound for the Skyhawks. Boy, he's a big guy on the glass for Fort Lewis down there.
He's got to watch his elbows on that rebound, too. Mm-hmm. They don't want to get a flagrant. Oh, there it is.
Oh, great pass from Stafford. Dembele lost the handle a little bit on the way up, and now getting bounced around a little by a few defenders. Kelly comes up with it.
Big guy
Northern New Mexico.
Big guy like that, just take it straight to the rim.
I knew you were gonna. I knew that's what you were gonna say. Big guy starts handling it, and pretty soon he ends up with it out of his hands. Dembele makes up for it with a defensive rebound there. I'd like to see him feed the big guy again. Let's see what Mays runs. Trost set to check in at the next dead ball, so I think we're about to see Dembele come off the floor. Let's see if they give it to him. Aquel in deep's going to take it himself and score it, and that's because Thomas didn't come off of Dembele to double him. I think Aquel wanted to feed it down low. When he didn't get double-teamed, he went ahead and scored the basket. Kind of nice to be able to do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I tried to involve you, but, I couldn't, so I scored.
20-point lead, 42-22 for the Skyhawks.
3:40 to go here in the first half. Stafford in backcourt. Man, Scotty can do so much. I mean, he can kind of go down. He's a guy who can switch for you on defense and about halfway defend a bigger post player, too. I mean, Donnell Stafford can do a whole lot for this basketball team.
Well, he's so fast and so athletic.
And just strong, too. Bobby will tell you that he specifically got Donnell. I can't remember what the game was, Rick. It was one you and I called a couple of years ago when the Skyhawks got out-rebounded by about 20 in an RMAC game. And Bobby went and looked went hunting around for a player and was looking for a rebounding guard. And Stafford was averaging like over 8 rebounds a game at the time, wherever he was playing in California. Yeah,
well, I mean, that's
the recruiting began.
It's a sign of a good coach, right?
Sure.
You see where you're deficient, and just like this year, defense has not been the team's strong point over the last couple of years, and that was his focus this year. And he's pretty excited about it. I talked to him several times during the football season. So he would come to the games, and he was pretty jacked about this team. And you lost a lot of players from last year, especially somebody like Ferris, all-time leading scorer for Fort Lewis. All world. And you lose all that offense. He's like, we're going to be just fine.
You could really, he and Aquel caught both this fall. You talk about football games and getting to talk to those young men. You got the feeling, the way they would approach me, that they were done deferring. I mean, it used to be Riley and Will would come up and visit with us in between halves and everything. The guys who graduated last year, and you just felt like, hey, here's some new team leaders, just the way they carried themselves walking around campus this fall. And it's showing up on the court.
Absolutely. On the court right now, we have Rashawn Martinez.
Number 2.
We have Dembele. We have Aquel Cott. We have Trevor Trost. And we have Q Mays.
You weren't going to try to say Jaquelon there, huh? I kind of like that Q doesn't make us. That's kind of nice of him. Apologies to Q's mom. I'm sure she thought that was a great name, but yeah, I'm glad we get to just go with Q. Aquel knocks down the free throw. Caught out of Amarillo, Texas, the RMAC Offensive Player of the Week last week, on his way to challenge him for that honor this week. He's got 14 already here in the first half.
Well, it's just unbelievable that he's just a junior. I mean, he came in as a freshman, but it just seems like his presence has been more than just 2 years in the uniform. Really 3 years because of COVID, but 2 years in the uniform. He's just such a good player.
Well, Rick, I mean, how can you say this? He goes to the bench with 3 minutes to go in the first half with a quiet 15.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really, it's nothing real flashy about it. We're just so used to seeing it. He's just so smooth. All of a sudden you look up and he's filled the scoreboard. Harris with it. 3 minutes to go in the half. Skyhawks up 44-22. Got him doubled right now. Herrera in the lane, working against Martinez. Shoots over Rashawn. Nice defense.
Really good defense
by the Skyhawk reserve. Rashawn Martinez, a 6'3" redshirt sophomore out of Vallejo, California. Dream City Christian High School there. Obi to Garbra. Down low, Dembele. Dembele backs in, banks it up. Big, strong right hand by Sekou Dembele.
Well, and we have a guy who's 220 pounds going against 250, and when you're that size, that 30 pounds is a lot. That's a really tough shot there. That's not even close to the rim.
Big miss by Gutierrez.
Fort Lewis up by 24.
Just a little over 2 minutes to go in this one. Trost with it at the high post. Kick out to Martinez for 3. Rashawn off the mark there. Kelly up high to clear the glass for Northern New Mexico. Number 24, that's Garcia from long range. No good.
Fort Lewis willing to slow it down here. 140 left in the first. There's a nice shot by a little bit off.
Martinez a little bit. I was going to say, Skyhawks aren't going to slow it down much, even with a big lead. They've got reserves on the floor, and they're going to continue to try and fill it up. Obi going to be called for the foul there. It's going to send Guillaume Garcia, the freshman from Barcelona, to the line for the three-point play.
Probably Obi's second foul. A Rose in for Dembele.
Rick, embarrassment of riches. I mean,
I'll tell you what, tomorrow night's game, if you want to watch a game against two quality programs with a history of being a quality program, tune in or better yet, come up tomorrow night and watch these two teams. They're going to be, that's going to be something special. And
you can bring your radio and listen to me and Rick if it's about missing us.
Yeah,
we'd like to see you here.
Absolutely. And a lot of people do that.
Obi Dribbles top of the key into the corner. Martinez.
Nice
Rashawn
feed.
passes on the shot this time. Feeds LaRose down low.
Oh, what a
Brendan
tip.
shot off the mark, but he's there to tip it right back.
He's got a little smile on his face
Yeah.
as he goes down off his own tip.
LaRose with 5. He started the game with that big three-pointer.
Nice shot
Speaking
there.
of threes, there's one from Herrera to keep it honest. 48-27. Skyhawks by 21 right now, under a minute to play. Garbra running the point. Gets it across the timeline to Trost. Tried to feed LaRose down low. Kelly comes up the steal, gets it ahead to Herrera. No good. Good job by Trost running the floor after the turnover to alter that shot by Herrera. Now Obi on the drive. Wow, look at that. Able to get that shot off somehow, off balance. It ends up being a miss. Here they are on the break. Harris into the lane. Trost again running the floor.
Nice
although I
job.
don't think he ever got all the way back offensively. He just stayed on the defensive end that time.
Well, and he did a good job
And he
of
might
not
as well.
picking up the foul. That would have been his
Right.
third foul of the night. And he did a good job. 9 seconds left. We'll see what they can do here.
Holding for last shot. Garbra into the lane. Rises. 12-footer. It's good. Big shot from Junior. And that was, I got to say this before we break for half. Junior Garbra, if there's a weakness in his game, it's always said I thought his jump shot was too flat.
Yeah.
It seems to be a little more air in it in this first half, especially that mid-range jumper
that was
right
a
there
great
looked
shot.
really nice.
Great shot at the end of that game, at the end of the half. Fort Lewis up by 23.
50-27. See if they can hit the century mark in half 22. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the dancers of the Colorado Ute Tribe. They will be dancing a round dance, and we invite you to join them around the perimeter of the court. Once again, the dancers of the Colorado Ute Tribes dancing around dance. Please come on out and join them around the perimeter of the court today. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, big round of applause for the Colorado Youth Dancers.